11.3 is actually two different lessons, okay, block period, but we're just going to combine it as one. We might take a little break in between if you want. We'll see how it goes, although we've chatted a lot today. What? I know. I put it together.
How many problems is this?
I don't remember.
It's not that much, but
No.
how many?
Okay, so here we go. Surface area of pyramids is what we're starting with, okay? So first, just some of the terminology, just get it out of the way, make sure you know what everything is. There's a picture there for you that lays a bunch of it out. In a pyramid, okay, maybe you think of Egypt when you think pyramids. That's what I always thought of when I thought pyramids. In a pyramid, right, this is a pyramid, this is a pyramid. You will have one face that can be any polygon. It can be a hexagon, it can be a triangle. Hey, it will be easier if you pay attention. A rectangle, it can be any polygon base, okay? The other faces, which we call, oh, this is a real little blank, the lateral faces are triangles that meet at a common vertex. Okay, so in a pyramid, everything is a triangle except for the base, right? Your base can be a triangle, but does not have to be a triangle. And then they'll all meet up, those triangles will all meet up at a vertex up on top, okay? You name a pyramid just like you name a prism or, well, a prism by the shape of its base. So a hexagonal pyramid, a rectangular pyramid, a triangular pyramid, name it by its base, okay? We would say this is a lateral face, right? One of the triangles. We would say this line right here is a lateral edge. Okay, so we talked about edges and faces and vertices before. Still holding steady with pyramids. What you're going to spend all of your time on are regular pyramids. And a regular pyramid, just like a regular polygon, is going to have a regular base. That polygon that is your base is a regular figure. So a regular hexagon, a regular pentagon, whatever it is, it's going to be a regular polygon. So that goes here, regular polygon. Okay, and your lateral faces are congruent isosceles triangles. So every one of your triangles that wraps around the figure is identical to every other one. Okay. H in this setup will represent the height of the pyramid, and it has to be perpendicular to your base. Okay, so the height's always going to come right down the center if it's a right pyramid. If it's oblique or kind of a funkier pyramid, it might not be right down the center, but most of what you're going to do is right down the center. Okay, this should be a cursive L. I forgot to go back and change my font. I'm sorry. That represents what's called the slant height. And that's just the height of your lateral face. So it is a height of a triangle. It's not the height of the pyramid. So it's the height of, I didn't copy very well. This should be an L, a cursive L in the figure. It's the height of your triangular face, okay?
Also like the line in between?
Like if you're just looking at the face of one of those triangles, it's the normal height of that triangle,
Oh, okay.
right? This triangle here, or any of the triangles that wrap around. Okay, so what happens with a pyramid? There's two formulas again, okay? There's your lateral area and there is your surface area formulas. I have for you here a picture of a pyramid and then what the net for that pyramid would look like, just so you understand where this formula is coming from, okay? If I were to make this a net, it would be a square, okay? My base is a square, and then there's 4 triangles. Well, if you think about this, if the length of each side of the square is S, then the area of the triangle is 1/2 times S times L, right? Okay, so if we're doing 4 of those, 4 of the 1/2 times S times L, okay? what that works out to, if we rearrange, remember the commutative property and the associative property say we can like flip things, we can multiply in a different order, and that's fine. We're going to rearrange a little bit right here. If we turn this into the 1/2 first, and then we think of the 4 and the s together, and then the slant height, the L, think about what 4s represents in this picture. It's the perimeter, right? It is the perimeter of your base. It's the perimeter of, in this case, the square, okay? Well, that means that your lateral area formula is 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height, okay? So that's the formula you're gonna use rather than go through the process of finding all of those areas and adding them all together. You can just plug it into 1/2 times the perimeter of the base times the slant height.
Is this the middle of the text?
Yes, it's right there, right? That whole chart is going to be given to you. So 1/2 SL, okay? 1/2 PL. The surface area is your lateral area plus what? Why was it 2B with a prism? Because there are two bases, right? So this is just B. I know, okay? But that means you have some things to think about now because you have LA plus 2B and now you have LA plus B. Make sure you're using the right formula for the right figure. If it's a prism or a cylinder, 2 bases. If it's a pyramid, 1 base, okay? Keep that straight. All right, so we're just going to use those 2 formulas for the rest of our lesson. Look at example 1 here. It says if the slant height, which is the L, is 12, and one side of the square base, it's a square base, is 8, find the lateral area and surface area of the square pyramid. Okay? You with me? Mm-hmm. Stick with me here. Lateral area, we know the formula, is 1/2 PL. What is P in this problem?
4 times
8 all the way around. So 8 times 4, or 32. Okay, so this is 1/2 times 32. What is the L?
12.
That's the 12. That's this line, okay, which they told us is 12. So 1/2 times 32 times 12. Plug that in, and you get 192 centimeters squared because it's an area. Okay, so what did we just find the area of?
Lateral.
The lateral area. What does that mean?
All the sides except the base.
All of the triangles, right? We just found the area of all the triangles. Now to find the surface area, all we got to do is add the area of the base to it. So our surface area is going to be LA plus B. Well, we got to figure out what B is in this problem. What does B stand for? What of the base? The area of the base. What is that? 64. Right. It's a square, right? The area of a square is base times height or side times side. So 8 squared or 64. Okay? So that means when I go to find the surface area, it's 192 plus 64. So my surface area, when you add that together, you get 256 square centimeters. How'd we do? Copper.
4. And P.
Oh, for the perimeter. Perimeter of a square, there's 4 sides, right? So it's 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, which is just 8 times 4.
So you're just taking all the bases.
The perimeter of your base. So if my base is a square, 8 times 4. If my base was a pentagon, 8 times 5.
And then you just times it by 12.
By the slant height. So perimeter times the slant height times a half. Okay? Okay. Look at example 2 here. it says find the lateral area and surface area to the nearest square inch. Okay, so we're going to be plugging in a radical here because we're rounding. Hey, you're going to want to know how to do this. Stop talking to him. Talk to me. So your lateral area is 1/2 PL. What's P?
36.
It's a hexagon, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your perimeter is 6 times 6 or 36. Okay, so it's 1/2 times 36. What's L?
9.
It's the 9. What's 6? What's the 3 rad 3? What is this?
The atom.
It's an apothem, right? That's a regular polygon. That's an apothem. So your L is this one, which is 9. Okay? Plug that in. You get a lateral area of 1/2 times 36 times 9 is,
162.
what is it? 162. Okay, so that's your lateral area. Surface area is your lateral area plus how many bases? 1. It's a pyramid. There is only one base. So you're going to go 162. Okay. Now, what is B?
1/2 times, yeah.
1/2 AP. Right? It's a regular polygon. To find the area of a regular polygon, it's 1/2 AP. Now, the beautiful thing is that's all given. 1/2, what's your apothem?
3.
The 3 rad 3. And what's P?
36.
You already found it, right? It's up here, 36. Okay? Because they said nearest square inch, you don't need to keep that in simplest radical. Just plug it in. 1/2 times 3 times the square root of 3, end your parenthesis so that you don't keep square rooting the other things, or just move your 36 over. That's fine too. That comes out to, what was it?
255.45.
Oh, you already added it. The base comes out to 94. So if you round this, it says nearest square inch. This would be 94. Okay, it was 54 rad 3 if you simplified in simplest radical form first. So 94 is your B. Okay, so this is 162 plus 94, which gives you a surface area of what? 256? Was that our last one too? Sure was. So 256 square inches.
The last one was 192 plus 64. And this is 162.
Plus 94. That's funny.
Wait, how did you find the atom?
It was given. It's right here. They just had an arrow pointing to it. So you didn't have to find any of it. You just had to plug it into the formula. 1/2 AP.
So when you were saying we do like that 1/2 parentheses, we do that 3, and you said add another parenthesis. You do like
When you plug a radical into your calculator, it starts a parenthesis for you. So if you hit 3 and then the next thing you hit is times and then the 36, it thinks you're taking the square root of all that, and we don't want to. We want the square root of 3 and then multiply by 36.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. If you've zoned out because you feel like the second example was simple because it was like the first one, zone back in because this one's different now. Lateral area and surface area of this pyramid. You are doing lateral area equals 1/2 times P times L. What's P?
120.
P is that 30 all the way around. Right? So 30 times 4 is 120 meters. Okay? So this is 1/2 times 120 times whatever L is. This was 36.4, by the way. It's kind of a, this is 30. Nope, that's not L.
Yeah, 'cause it comes from the
So this one's perpendicular down the middle. So what is that? That's the height. That's your H. Okay? We don't want H.
36.4 rad 2.
No, Pythagorean theorem. We want this L, right? And if you look, that yellow triangle, we know 2 of the sides for. What is AC? It's going to be 15. It's going to be half of this side. Okay, so it's 15 squared plus 36.4 squared equals the slant height squared. So if you just plug that in, 15 squared plus 36.4 squared, you get this number is your L squared. Okay, then we're just going to square root both sides. So second square root of second answer, you get a slant height of, does it say word around? We did not say word around. We will call it, we'll just do 3 decimal places, 39.370. So if that's your slant height, that's the number that's going to go right up here, 39.370, okay? And then you plug that in, 1/2 times 120 times 39.37 is nearest tenth, 2,362.2 square meters. Okay, so that's your lateral area. Now your surface area is your lateral area plus how many bases? 1 base. So it's going to be that number, 2,362.2. Okay, and then we got to figure out the base. How do you find the area of this base? Base times height, which is what? 900. It's 30 times 30, or 30 squared, so 900. So you're just going to add 900 to that lateral area, and you get a surface area of 3,262.2 square meters. It's great, right? You love it? Pythagorean theorem. So you're looking at this triangle.
Oh, right.
You have 15 down here because the side is 30, so cut that in half. 15 squared plus 36.4 squared equals L squared. Lots of Pythagorean theorem in this 11.3a and 11.3b. Look for it, okay? Questions on that? Okay. Tell me what you want. You want a 2-minute break? Move around and stretch a little bit? You want a 10-minute break?
2 minutes.